Services, you're showing off, Jeff. You're reading off the board there.
Good Neighbor Network, it says right there.
WGNS. How you doing, bud?
Doing good.
Springtime is kind of teased us a little bit, isn't it, this week?
Well, it's out there somewhere. Yeah, okay.
Are you convinced it's time to go out and plant your garden?
No. Of course, I'm not going to do that anyway. But I think we've got some cold days coming up.
Can I give you a question? I'm not going to require you to answer right now. I want you to think about it for the next 5 or 10 minutes. Very simple. No, this is simple. I listened to this on another station today, so I'm stealing their idea.
You're saying I've got to have a simple question. It can't be complicated.
It really is.
Okay.
Your favorite sports uniforms. Just kind of think about that. The favorite sports uniforms that you happen to have. It could be high school, it could be college, it could be pro, it could be baseball, it could be football, it could be whatever.
Okay.
You want to answer now, or you want to give me?
I can answer whenever you want me to.
Well, go ahead then. If you, I just didn't want to stump the band.
My favorite sports uniform. Okay. St. Louis Cardinals.
Is it the little bird on the bat emblem that's pretty neat?
That's a beautiful uniform.
Iconic.
And I think a number of them. I don't even know why they even bothered. I mean, they're just awful looking. But I think the Cardinals is beautiful. Now, I like others, don't misunderstand, but I think the Cardinals are the most attractive one, I think.
Is there one that stands out? Well, I'll tell you one that stands out in my mind as being one of the most symbolic is the pinstripes of the New York Yankees.
Okay.
Very simple, but the pinstripes have been long known to the Yankees. And other teams have used pinstripes a little bit along the way, but when I think of pinstripes, I think of the Yankees, and that NY on the front. It's very simple, but very, very nice.
I agree with that 100%, and it looks good, it's classy, and to me it says this is a professional baseball team and not to be trifled with. And haven't they kind of lived up to that over the years? I think so. I think they have. I don't think it's particularly beautiful, but it is a nice looking uniform.
893-1450. If you'd like to share your favorite uniform, that'd be fine. Blue Raiders uniform's pretty nice at times. Sometimes I get a little confused with what goes on. And that's kind of the way it is with most teams anymore, don't you think, Jeff? And especially in college football, we seem to get off the narrow path sometimes about what kind of uniform we're supposed to wear.
Yeah, I guess so, and maybe we change more than you and I might like. I don't know. I have seen the Blue Raider uniform that I liked that I really thought was an attractive uniform was the one that we're wearing a long time ago. You know, back in the 50s and 60s and 70s. Much prettier than the ones they have today, I think. Now, others might agree.
Seems like they maybe designed it a little bit like over the Cowboys uniform. Is that the one you're thinking about? Did it have any look to?
I don't remember.
Don't think so? Okay.
I don't think so.
Well, you and I both go back, let folks understand that we're going to talk about symbolic things that go back in history probably. You and I remember when the Blue Raider color was baby blue.
Right.
Carolina blue, if that's the right word, whatever it happened to be. I think of Tim Cisneros in that color. It was a light blue. Steve Peeler and those players playing in that lighter color blue.
I thought that was really sharp, and the only conversations that I've had about those has been some time ago, and people that didn't particularly care for that light color blue. And I thought it was beautiful, but okay.
It's probably a theme that to me is pick a color and stick with it. Pick a jersey or style and stick with it. Pick a logo and stick with it. Sometimes you change them because the stick with it just didn't seem to be working out real well, and you're searching for that St. Louis Cardinal look, right?
Yeah, one thing that happens in football particularly, is that you get a new coach, which seemingly happens all the time, and that coach wants to, legacy and all that kind of stuff, and they have a new uniform. Then they get a new design or whatever, and so they're changing frequently.
I think stubbornness sometimes falls into it. I think the helmet of the Cleveland Browns, Jeff, the only helmet that I know of that has nothing on it except for color. There is no symbol, no number. And then you got Penn State, who wears a white helmet with their number across the front. Is that right? I think it is very plain, very very, 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 very plain looking. And I would suggest to both those teams, they might want to consider jazzing it up just a little bit.
Well, I don't know whether the Browns will ever do anything or not. I kind of like it. It's all right, I guess. Now, Penn State's uniforms, I got another word for that: ugly. I mean, it just looks like a ragtag bunch of guys out there. Of course, the game starts and they don't play that way. So
more times than not, they don't. Of course, when they play against Oregon, it is the very blinding color of green, metallic green, the neon green, the glow in the dark green, versus the very plain Penn State numbers.
Hey, Oregon may have gone just a touch too far, but are there stuff not free?
I think all these schools, especially the big ones, and I think Middle Tennessee is the same way to some degree, as uniform contracts that they supply the uniform for the branding purposes. I don't know how far that goes. My guess is Ohio State and Oregon and Southern Cal and Tennessee probably get a few more dollars from those people than Middle Tennessee does.
Yeah, maybe so. I don't know. I know a little bit about the Central Magnet uniforms and Central Middle before that. But just a little bit. I do know about the Riverdale uniforms, for sure. At least some time ago, not that long ago. But there are a lot of shades of red. Let's put it that way. I mean, you go to some guy's book, which they carry with them, and come down and try to sell you uniforms, and they've got a red uniform, and it looks sharp. Till you see the next one, which looks a little bit different, a little bit more orangey, a little bit more pinkish.
You and I go back to the days coaching at the middle school level, probably, when L.D. Agee would come out with his book, and the colors were what the colors were. You didn't really. You had 4 or 5 choices, and if you wanted a different color red, you're out of luck.
That's correct.
You just go to someplace else to find it. So we take whatever they happen to have. Now, Middle Tennessee, I'm sure does, and University of Tennessee does, has a specific number on the color blue that they have. It is a very specific blue. As Tennessee orange, for example, is different than Texas orange. So,
which is also different, as far as I know and can tell, it's different from the Middle Tennessee Christian School orange.
And the Florida Gators orange and the Clemson Tigers orange.
There you go.
They all have their own little number.
Yeah.
Unless you're in middle school, when you take whatever comes off the rack. LD, what you got going on right now that's on sale?
Hope you make enough money at the gate to pay for it.
Speaking of football coaches at Riverdale, I think you probably saw that Gary Rankin is leaving Boyd Buchanan after 4 years.
Yeah, I did.
Any news on that in your mind? Something tells me that private school and Gary Rankin just maybe never quite gelled together real well. I'm just guessing. I don't know anything at all.
No, I don't know.
When he says he's not finished coaching maybe yet,
he did say that.
Said something to me that maybe that it just needed to be a parting of the ways there after 4 years.
Yeah, and he I don't remember what his record was, but it was
good.
Great. I mean,
yeah.
I don't think that certainly wasn't the problem. But I don't know if there was any problem with the private school thing or not. But the idea, a lot of coaches do this, as you know, and that they finish out their 30 years in public education, and they still would be could well be just in their 50s.
Sure.
And they want to coach some more, and so they go to private school.
Sure.
And private school contract and your duties and whatnot can be very different from public school, and the things that you have to do.
25 words or less, they can coach football pretty much, period, and not have six classes of classroom duty to deal with.
That is exactly correct, and.
Well, even if they got the classroom duty to deal with, you have to getting paid twice. Not a bad deal. That's called double dipping, and it's legal.
Oh, sure.
And I've done it myself to some degree, and I've encouraged. Frankly, my daughter is approaching retirement age at middle school level. At the public school level, and I wouldn't see anything wrong with her going to a private school to teach if she want to go that way.
And you use the word legal, and of course it should be legal.
Sure.
I mean, the person has put in their time and chosen to retire. Okay. Now they're retired. Now they can take a job anywhere.
I guess the question somebody might have to have, we're getting away from sports a little bit, Jeff, but should you be able to retire at 52 years old, which is what I was able to do? I retired after 32 years at 54. Now, Jeff, that's not a bad deal. Now, the best part of it is, had I say another 10 or 12 years, my retirement that I'm drawing now would be considerably higher than what I'm drawing because I would have built up a higher bank in the nest. So, but you can, most people are going to get out of college at 22, 23 years old. Fair enough?
Yeah.
Which means 30 years later, you're 52, 53, 54 years old, you can retire and sit down on the couch and eat popcorn and watch Jeopardy or go to work.
Well, now I had 2 years that I did not teach, so mine ran out a little later than yours did.
Right.
I was 55 when I got the 30 years in, and I was not going to teach anymore or coach anymore, most likely, and I did not. So that worked out okay. And I needed to retire. I was ready to retire. Nobody cares particularly, but I mean, I had done everything I think that I wanted to do and had taught what I wanted to teach and that kind of thing. And I was perfectly okay. I felt like I was going to, drop dead in a civics class one day or something. But I was, as far as I knew, I was fine. And but anyway. 55. I mean, I was, that's fine.
All right. The next category on the Jeopardy board is coaching tandems.
Coaching tandems?
Coaching tandems. I had the opportunity for another show to interview both Barry Wortman and Jennifer Grandstaff, who at Blackman High School. Barry's approaching 700 wins. He's not there yet. He's got 600 plus, and Jennifer just passed 700, which suggests to me there's not many places that you're going to find that.
No.
I said when I was principal at Oakland, and I stand behind it still, and Barry would probably not argue with me. Jennifer Grandstaff and Randy King was a pretty good tandem as well. But I'm just trying to get you to think of coaching tandems at schools that were awfully good together.
Well,
don't say Jeff Jordan and Bobby Gardner.
Well, you've already ruined the question. You've named two tandems that were excellent, and a full staff that was excellent at a couple of places. And generally speaking, I think you've. I'm not going to go out on that limb and name anybody that particularly great. I have a lot of coaching friends and whatnot that worked well together and supported each other and all that kind of stuff. But I tell you what, Randy King and Jennifer Grandstaff, and now Barry Workman and Jennifer Grandstaff, that's pretty good. Now you can go back and talk about George Hockenberry and Randy King. That was a good tandem,
sure,
girls, boys.
Sure.
But I don't know that I want to go much further than that. No, I'll probably not.
In that interview, I found out, I did not know this, Barry Wortman and Rick Ensel used to coach together at Shelbyville High School.
That is correct.
In the early 90s. Barry, I think, might have been his first head coaching job, and I know it was Rick's first head coaching job, both at Shelbyville. Neither one had a reputation at that point in time, but going back, Jeff, that'd be hard to beat right there.
Yeah, it would. It surely would. And I know I told Scott Lawless, who's really the athletic director at Blackman, I said, Scott, you got the best two coaches, and Chad Hibden and Barry Workman in the state.
Two good ones right there.
And he said, that is my opinion also. So evidently he would agree with it. That's pretty good. There's state championships there, more than one. So, yeah.
We talked a little teaching. We talked a little coaching. Good coaches teach, don't they, Jeff?
Yeah.
Good teachers have a coaching ability to them, I think. I'm thinking teaching is a little bit more about the X's and O's, and coaching is maybe that plus the motivation that goes with it. Is that fair to say?
I think so, yes. I think so.
Because if you're not teaching in your gymnasium on the floor, especially at the level you and I were at, you had no chance to win. We at junior high level, you have to teach everything.
Well, I was just sitting here thinking, going back, to the 80s and since, and I wouldn't want to say anything. I would leave out somebody or somebody's,
Yeah, that's the problem we got right now.
Yeah, but
take it off the top of our head.
I tell you what, if there's somebody that's a better motivator than Jennifer Grandstaff, I don't know who that is. Now, there may well be. Maybe a lot of them. I don't know. But that woman can coach, and she can motivate. I know you'd agree.
I do agree. But I'm thinking back to Ben Cates, who preceded Jennifer Grandstaff at Oakland. Excellent coach as well. Did it a little different way, I guess, or did he? Because both of them are pretty quiet in their own way, aren't they?
Yes.
Very thoughtful, very not wanting to jump at conclusions and jump off the end of the rail anytime soon. You know, pretty well predictable the way they're going to be on the sideline. But boy, they sure both had a look about them, didn't they?
Well, of course, as he was Ben was probably the best friend that I ever had, or certainly one of them. And I've seen him up close at camp, more than one camp, and many basketball games. And he had a way of getting good play, or better play than a player actually possessed.
Sure.
And he could motivate, and I'll use this word, but I don't mean it like a soldier or anything, but he was demanding. You know, he had a way of demanding. Now, was he yelling and screaming? And no.
Sure.
But he was getting.
Don't you think that his players did not want to disappoint him?
Oh yes. Oh.
It was demanding in that way.
Oh, absolutely. Yes, sir. I had the pleasure of coaching a player, or maybe more, that I felt that definitely felt that way, and I think most coaches have it.
I think I've known a coach or two that maybe the players felt just absolute opposite way. They wanted to disappoint him as much as they could.
Well, that could be. I don't know that I had any of those.
I'm not going to name any of those people, though.
No, me either.
Let's take a break before I get too far carried away. We'll be right back with more All Sports Talk.
If someone asked, what's your more? Would you be surprised? Well, at First Bank, knowing your more is where we start. Whether it's seeing your kid's college graduation, seeing the world, or seeing the ocean from your patio, your more helps us see who you are. That's why First Bank offers you more time, more access to local lenders and leaders, more answers, and more products. So tell us, what's your more? First Bank. Bank local. Get more. Member FDIC.
WGNS. Our family at Demas's Restaurant are proud to support local emergency responders who put their lives on the line for our community each and every day. This is Peter Demas, and here is this week's Demas's Emergency Responder of the Week.
Murfreesboro Police Officer Dustin Nicholson talked a woman off the bridge over I-24 on the Medical Center Parkway. She'd climbed over the railing and was moments before falling. Officer Nicholson spoke to her calmly, trying to ease her panic. When words were no longer enough, he quickly secured her and pulled the woman back to safety. Thank you, Murfreesboro Police Officer Dustin Nicholson.
When you see a firefighter, police officer, paramedic, or telecommunicator going the extra mile, let WGNS know, and we at Demas's Restaurant will salute them as the Emergency Responder of the Week.
Lace up your best kicks for a night of impact benefiting First Shot. Join us for the annual Sneaker Ball, presented by Venture Express. Spend Sunday, April 26th with NFL Hall of Famer and Super Bowl MVP Marcus Allen. The event kicks off at 6 with a VIP meet and greet at 5. Reserve your table today. Call Coach Andy Herzer at 615-631-5312. We'll see you at the Sneaker Ball, benefiting First Shot on April 26th.
This is Chip Walters, and I'm honored to be your 2024 MTAR Realtor of the Year. I'm with Exit Realty Bob Lamb & Associates, and like many of you, I've seen the real estate market shift and change. People often ask, Chip, what's really going on? Well, that's a great question, and I believe in answering with solid, factual data. So let's cut through some of the noise. I invite you to reach out. Let's have a conversation about your real estate goals and the current market trends in your neighborhood. You can find all my contact information at choosechip.net.
Parks Auction Company will get you top dollar for your property.
Parks has a team of experienced auctioneers and realtors who make selling your property simple. Whether you're selling your home, farm, or have an estate to settle, auctions are easy, fast, and profitable. You don't have to worry about the hassle of updates, repairs, or showings, and you'll receive multiple offers on auction day.
Parks Auction Company will get you top dollar for your property.
Parks Auction Company, committed to auction excellence.
Sold it to you, 27.5.
Good afternoon. Trying to clear up this wreck southbound Briley Parkway at M Hill Pike over here in the Donaldson area. It's heavy on 65 north and southbound. Right now here at Wedgwood here in South Nashville. Busy, of course, 65 pushing down into Brentwood, Franklin. Watch for radar I-40, especially out through the Mount Juliet area. STR Towing and Recovery says call them 24/7 if you need help with a car or a big truck tow. That's STR Towing and Recovery. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
It's all sports talk from the Good Neighbor Network, FM 1019, 100.5, AM 1450, WGNSradio.com, and Big G TV.
Thank you so much for listening to All Sports Talk. Tim Tackett along with Jeff Jordan. Jeff brought to you by Fans Heating and Air, Lee Coffin Financial Services with Edward Jones. Smyrna at Oakland, the game tonight on WGNS. We'll be leaving you in about 15 minutes for a pregame for that show. Jeff, there was a time that you would be out there at Oakland getting ready for the show, right?
Well, yeah, and I don't
broadcast,
know.
I should say.
Is that where we are tonight? Okay, that's where Brian and John Dinkins, or I don't know who's working. Maybe it's Bill Hockenberry. I don't know. But their broadcast crew will be there tonight, yes.
Headed toward district tournament play. Any more thought? We discussed last time we were on the possibility of, well, one district we know of, two districts I should say, are going straight to the region tournament without a district tournament play. There's more and more conversation about that. I predicted in 5 years we'd probably see very few district tournaments. Any thought on that?
I may not see any. I mean, that's possible. It's hard to imagine, I guess, and that could happen. And you look around and you look in this county, and which has a lot of teams, and some of them really good, and some of them rebuilding. You got everything. But as you and I both know, you get off into these smaller counties where there's one or two high schools maybe, or the interior of Nashville or Memphis or big cities where they don't leave. They've got a rivalry that goes back many years. That kind of rivalry thing can get really intense and really serious. And a lot of fans show up all the time to see their small team play. And I've been to many Eagleville games, which in a way, that description would apply to them because there's nobody else in the county that's public school that's playing at the level that Eagleville's playing. But hey, they get to Moore County or Cascade or Chapel Hill, for heaven's sakes. We're talking serious rivalry games here.
Well, somebody brought the point up to me, Jeff, that money was the reason that they play them, and that the fact that these two schools are from Williamson County, which is an area where money is not really as big a problem as it can be someplace else, gives them a little bit more opportunity to say, we can take these few dollars, we can make it a district tournament and just do without it and move on to region play. That got a factor involved, do you think?
Well, I think so, sure. And I don't know what that would do to the schedule, because you got a week, right, to play the tournament, and
you want to play somebody.
Beg pardon?
I said you want to play somebody during that time.
Yeah, probably
sure.
so. So that might change the schedule somewhat, but everybody in the state would have to not play a district tournament for that to work.
Right.
And we may never see that, but I think we will at some point. We will see no district tournament played, but you will send teams by how they're seeded in the regular season, at the end of the regular season, not how they're seeded after the district.
And by way of explanation, a whole lot of this driving this, Jeff, there's a lot of 4-team districts, which the 4 teams go from the district to the region play. And the process is we water down this regular season if we go ahead and take these 4 teams that are going to go and go do it all over again. Let's do it one way or the other and do without that. And we're not going to change it from that anytime soon. I don't think we're going back to 3 divisions or 2A or 1A basketball the way it was back in 19 well, 72, I think it was, when they finally went from small and large class to, one classification to small and large class back in those days.
I don't believe that's going to change again. It's not going to go back. And another reason it's not going to go back is that we are continually adding schools.
Sure.
I mean, I don't know. I do remember how many we had, say, 20 years ago or 25 years ago when we had the seed and we were looking all over the state. There were like 60 top level. I say that with tongue in cheek, but the highest level of football. We got more than that now, and then more than that in a lot of others.
Well, I would think since the 80s, I know when I was at Laverne, we had at least 6 teams, maybe 7 teams in our region. We were Gallatin, Mount Juliet, those schools up that way. Oakland was Coffee County, White County, people like that. But can you think of any districts at all that had less than 6 teams back in those days?
Less than 6?
Less than 6.
Not off the top of my head, but I have to say that the ones we paid attention to was the Fayetteville, Manchester, Shelbyville, Lawrence County, those people, and our own district. And we had a district at one time. Springfield was in it, and DuPont was in it, and there is no DuPont anymore. But
so 8 or 9 teams in a district was not unusual.
No, there would be a lot, and boy, it took a full week. Start early in the afternoon.
Well, you have 9 teams. Making a district tournament play makes some sense at that point in time, doesn't it?
Yeah. I think
With 4, it makes
so.
no sense at all to me.
Well, if you have 4 teams, the first thing that you're doing in the first round is you're playing somebody that you've already played twice. Now, whether you lost or won, I don't know, but you've already played them twice.
And Miss Joe Fan says, why do I want to go watch that third time? Blackman's going to play Name the School.
Okay, Siegel.
They're 22-3, and the other team is 3-22. So why do I want to go watch that basketball game? I'm not going to spend my money to do that, right?
Right.
I think I know the name of that movie.
Yeah, I think so. It's called Rerun for sure. It ends up, and it ends up costing everybody time, money, practice, a chance of injury, and you really haven't accomplished much when you do all that.
Well, let's say this, and then we'll move on to Middle Tennessee basketball. The districts get to decide for themselves which 4 teams they send and how they send them. They can draw them out of a hat. They can play a tournament. They can do district play, whatever they want to do, and so that's the choice they have. Middle Tennessee basketball, Jeff.
Yes.
I made the prediction earlier on that the men's record would be better in the conference than the women's record at the end of the season. That's not going to happen, is it?
I don't think so.
It's 9-5 on the women's side, 9-4. I take that back, and the men are at 6-8. Jeff, they have played 4 straight games that have gone to the last possession.
Yeah.
9 out of 14 conference games have gone to the last possession, have been decided by 3 or less points, several of those by overtime.
That's right.
And of those 5 games left over, one was by 4 points and one was by 5 points.
Right.
What's going on?
I don't know. We've had some bad luck.
Well, 4 and 5. That's about.
Yeah.
If you're gonna play that many 1-2 point ball games, 4 and 5 sounds about right, doesn't it? 5 and 4, 4 and 5.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
Some bad luck, some poor free throw shooting in some games.
Well,
but it's safe to say, if they could get into the tournament and win 3 of those in a row, it appears they're going to be in every game to the wire. So,
and they're capable of doing that.
They are. They really are. I think Nick McDeffie's got a pretty good ball club, but outside of Liberty in the conference, who is undefeated on the men's side, Jeff, everybody else is from 2 through about 11 is 6-8. 7-7, 8-6. You could be anywhere from 2nd to 10th. The women are now in 2nd place. They go on the road for 3 straight road games at Western Kentucky on Saturday night, and 2 more on the road. Finishing 2nd would mean a bye in the tournament, which would be huge for the ball club. I think they can get that done. I certainly hope they do.
Well, it would be easy to sit back and say, "Well, we'll beat Western because Western is weak." And I thought they were well coached, but perhaps I'm wrong.
Right.
That would be a mistake because you're going to Western, and they do everything they can to beat us. And I guess we can fold up and lose. I don't think we
marbles
will.
on the hallway going to the locker room, right?
That's right. I don't believe that the Raiders will lose to Western at Western or anywhere else, but it could happen.
Well, there's no home game until Saturday night Middle Tennessee will host, I think, Saturday night. I think it's at 1 o'clock Saturday afternoon, hosting the men's side of things. So not much to talk about there. But the ladies are in second place right now. 5 games to go, headed toward Huntsville. And Jeff, I think they're making progress. Their slip-ups are going to be on the road, and they've got 3 in a row to do. 2-1. Would you take that and not go play?
Yes, I would.
Rick would never admit to that, but he in his heart of hearts, he might say, yeah, we might take that deal as well.
Well, is he going to buy any gasoline or a meal in Western?
No, it'll be Bowling Green in and Bowling Green back out.
He's not doing that.
Well, I'm passing through Bowling Green tomorrow on my way up to Indiana for a visit with my mother and a funeral for my brother's father-in-law in Scottsburg, Indiana. Get to visit a couple of classmates while I'm up there, so I make a trip that direction. They got snow still, Jeff, on the side of the road.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm told.
And really, there's Murfreesboro. I hope nobody calls me and corrects me here. I hope not. But Murfreesboro really avoided quite a bit of the weather problems that we had. Now, we had low temperatures. Everybody had that. But Nashville got a lot more wind, snow, and sleet, and south of here got a lot more. But well, we were okay. We made it through all right. But I didn't care too much for it. Did you? We haven't done this before.
Well, it's created some problems all the way around. But springtime is all but here. Baseball is playing, by the way.
Yeah.
The Raiders played 2 out of 3, won 2 out of 3 this weekend at home against Bellarmine out of Louisville, and. It's just hard to imagine going out and playing baseball in weather like this. I did it when I was in high school. I played baseball in high school in Indiana, so it's worse in here for sure.
Well, I tell you,
the joys of youth.
That's not me. I just no, but I'll go to football in terrible weather. I won't do baseball, but okay.
All right, it is Smyrna at Oakland tonight.
It is.
We're going to get out of the way. Chip Walters is going to get in the way for a few minutes with the Blue Raider Inside Report, and then it'll be high school basketball right here on WGNS. Thanks, Jeff. Y'all have a good night. More All Sports Talk tomorrow right here at 5 o'clock.
If you're a small business owner, think about everything you need to help your business succeed. You need a plan, happy customers, steady cash flow, and an insurance agent that gets you. I'm State Farm Agent Deb Insel, and I run a small business too. I understand the unique needs of local business owners and will make it easy for you to choose the right protection at the right price. Because one thing you don't need is insurance stress. Call me, Agent Deb Insel, for your small business needs today. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Folks, I hope you're listening every Sunday night at 8 o'clock to the Edwin Lee Raymer Show. We'll talk about some local politics, national politics, all types of topics, all types of guests. That's 8 o'clock Sunday night, Edwin Lee Raymer Show. Talk to you then.
Lace up your best kicks for a night of impact benefiting First Shot. Join us for the annual Sneaker Ball, presented by Venture Express. Spend Sunday, April 26th with NFL Hall of Famer and Super Bowl MVP Marcus Allen. The event kicks off at 6 with a VIP meet and greet at 5. Reserve your table today. Call Coach Andy Herzer at 615-631-5312. We'll see you at the Sneaker Ball, benefiting First Shot on April 26th.
I'm meteorologist Ray Miller from News Radio WGNS with a reminder that you can download the Weatherology app on your phone for the forecast at your fingertips. We can even send weather bulletins directly to your phone. Download the Weatherology app today. It's free in the App Store.
At State Farm, when home and auto work as a team, you score and save money. I'm State Farm Agent Andy Wama. Give me a call at 615-890-0850 and let's work together to win big by saving money on home and auto. With the service you get from State Farm, you might think our car insurance costs more. I'm State Farm Agent Andy Wama. Give me a call at 615-890-0850 and let me show you with discounts up to 40%. You may find it even costs less.
Next on All Sports Talk, it's the Blue Raider Insider Report with Chip Walters of Exit Realty, Bob Lamb & Associates.
Well, good afternoon, everybody. It is a great day for baseball out at Reese Smith Jr. Field. The Blue Raiders had their first pitch against Alabama State today. at 3 o'clock. The Blue Raiders come into the game with a 2-1 record after taking 2 out of 3 against Bellarmine over the weekend. Also coming up this weekend, the Blue Raiders at home Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It'll be a 3 o'clock game on Friday against St. Bonaventure, also 1 o'clock on Saturday and Sunday. Elsewhere around Conference USA today in college baseball, you've got Delaware hosting LaSalle. Kennesaw State is at home against West Georgia. Missouri State on the road at Oral Roberts in Tulsa. Jacksonville State hosting Georgia State. FIU playing Bethune-Cookman in Daytona Beach. Sam Houston on the road at Houston Christian. And Dallas Baptist is at home today against Abilene Christian. And that's what's going on in Conference USA baseball. In women's basketball, Conference USA's Middle Tennessee swept the weekly awards as Elena Contreras was named Conference USA Player of the Week, and Macy Pfeiffer earned Conference USA Freshman of the Week honors. Contreras, a native of Minneapolis, Minnesota, captured the second Player of the Week award of her career and the program's first Player of the Week award for this season, after the Blue Raiders had a 2-0 week in conference play. She capped the week with a season-high 28-point performance against Kennesaw State, shooting 10 of 14 from the field and a career-best 6 of 8 from beyond the arc. Pfeiffer, who is a native of New Albany, Mississippi, earned her second Freshman of the Week award of the season after playing a key role in Middle Tennessee's unbeaten week. The honor marks the program's 10th Freshman of the Week award this year. The rookie averaged 15 points and 8 rebounds per game, scoring 12 points with 8 rebounds against Jacksonville State, following that up with an 18-point 8-rebound effort against Kennesaw State. Pfeiffer also posted career highs in steals during the week while continuing to make an impact defensively. Looking at the women's schedule coming up on Thursday, the Lady Raiders will be on the road this week, but they will not play until Saturday. The Thursday night schedule has Delaware at FIU, Sam Houston at Kennesaw, Liberty at Missouri State, and Louisiana Tech at Jacksonville State. The Lady Raiders will play on Saturday at Western Kentucky, so they get a little bit of a break here early in the week to rest up for the stretch run in Conference USA. Currently, the Lady Raiders are in second place behind Louisiana Tech, and right now Tech with a 3-game lead over everyone else in the field. The Blue Raider men, travel day for the Raiders as they head to Huntsville, Texas, and that's where they will have a practice tonight and again tomorrow before playing tomorrow night at the Bernard Johnson Coliseum there on the Sam Houston campus. I'll have that broadcast beginning at 6 o'clock with our countdown to tip-off. 6:30 will be the tip-off. Elsewhere in the league on Wednesday night, Western Kentucky at Delaware, Jacksonville State at Louisiana Tech, and Kennesaw at Missouri State. A single game on Thursday that will have FIU playing at Liberty. And also, one final reminder, Coffee with a Coach tomorrow morning at the Smith Center. Just show up. Second floor of the Smith Center. There'll be signage, and they'll get you into the right meeting room. Coach Derek Mason has an open to the public forum. Starts at 8 o'clock a.m., and they'll have coffee and donuts from Donut Country. Well, that's it for today. We'll have another update from Texas tomorrow, right here on the Big G, WGNS.
This is a paid legal ad.
At the law offices of John Day, we take only real cases that make a real difference.
My name is Laura Lynn, and my family needed legal help. The law offices of John Day took the burden really off of my shoulders. Never once did I feel secondary to anything else that was going on.
We want to make a difference in the community we hold so dear. And if you're ever injured, know that we are here for you too. Seriously injured? Call me, John Day.
Whether it's a cough, a fever, or something you can't quite name, MMC Now makes care easy. Walk right in, get seen quickly, and your visit connects directly to your MMC doctor. Care you trust, with providers you know, with digital check-in and multiple locations around town. MMC Now is here when you need us.
Murfreesboro Medical Clinic.
This has been All Sports Talk on WGNS and Big G TV, where we hit every level of the game from the preps to MTSU across Tennessee and the nation. Thanks for tuning in to All Sports Talk from the Good Neighbor Network.
Next, another special News Radio WGNS broadcast.
It's State Farm Prep Sports from the Good Neighbor Network.